Well, folks, here it is, the second and final part of our review of Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, which gets even wilder, believe it or not, gets even wilder in the second half of the movie than it was in the first half of the movie. You are in for quite a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tonal shifts as we discuss what has happened here. And without further ado, let's get right on into it. At this point, we've entered into the second half of the two-episode arc that we're going on here. It's at this point that it is revealed, oh my gosh, Metal Robotnik was actually Robotnik and the president's daughter the entire time. Who could have foreseen this? And she's just so disappointed in Robotnik because she's like, man, you crashed this. We were going on a car ride and you got us into this big wreck. I'm so disappointed in you. But meanwhile, they are on their way to Robotropolis. They go inside and they're like, okay, we need to get to the generator.
And then they just do.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no, nothing's in their way. They
go fast and then they're there.
I was so confused because it just cut to and they're at the generator. I was like, oh, so this is not the climax of the story, I guess.
No.
We're just doing it.
Yeah. And this is the point where I remember, oh yes, that's why they're here in the first place, is because there's this generator.
That thing at the very beginning.
Okay. So they get to the generator, like Knuckles, there's a couple badniks that he's taking care of, and they're trying to get to the generator and they're running along, and suddenly, oh no, it's a conveyor belt in the entrance to the generator. How are we going to get into the generator when the conveyor belt is going so fast? But eventually he just does because he's Sonic.
Yeah, he goes faster.
Go faster.
They're making it so dramatic the entire time with Tails and Knuckles being like, oh my gosh, it's about to explode. There's a timer on it. There's literally a timer on this generator telling us when it's going to explode. And right before it's about to explode, Sonic gets on top of the giant lever that's bigger than him, bigger than any living creature in this Sonic verse. He's standing on top of it, and ka-chunk turns off the generator, but surprise, it was a trap the entire time.
What?
Yeah, because the generator was housing Metal Sonic inside of it. The generator starts falling apart, but before it starts falling apart to reveal Metal Sonic on the inside, Sonic is trapped inside, and Robotnik is like, haha, it was my plan the entire time.
I got your data, idiot.
Because he has re-revealed himself in the body of Metal Robotnik. Now Robotnik and the president's daughter, Sarah the Catgirl, are there again. And Robotnik is all like, behold, Metal Sonic, I didn't really need you to come here to turn off that generator. I need to scan you and implant you into this robot. This robot is you, but it's metal and it's evil. And it's going to do something. This is where I'm sitting here being like, okay, wait, Robotnik, what exactly is your plan?
This is a dream.
To melt the North Pole.
No, his plan.
This is a dream. You're explaining a weird dream you had, and it makes no sense.
No, listen. It makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, listen.
Yes, you've seen this many more times than us.
Eggman built Metal Sonic to destroy Sonic because Sonic always gets in his way when he's trying to take over the world, in this case, this planet, okay?
Okay.
So he created this convoluted thing where he was going to take the princess, or whatever, not the princess, the president's daughter, the princess.
Basically the princess.
And he's going to marry her, not because he loves her, but because she has the ruling power over the planet. So that's why he wants her. Okay. He made Metal Sonic. The Robotnik and the generator are both just a trap to lure Sonic to be scanned, because his idea is he's basically cloning Sonic, but making him a little better so that he can actually defeat him, because Eggman cannot do it. So that's why he needs...
Because he's a weak nerd.
Okay, riddle me this.
Yeah.
In the first 2 minutes of this movie, Eggman tricked Sonic already to come to the president's office where he was waiting for him.
Yes.
Would it not have cut out 40 minutes of this movie if he just scanned him right there? I mean, what was this whole made up story about the robots came
I think
I'm gonna
based
kill this
on
kid if you don't get in that data box right now.
Yeah,
all I can think is that he had to be in proximity to the robot. That's my only...
Bring the robot to the president's house. He had 100 other robots there.
I'll say something about Ivan Robotnik. I think the man likes the chase. And I think that's why he and Sonic are such good rivals, because Sonic do the run and Eggman like the chase.
I mean, it's an interesting, convoluted thing, because ultimately his goal is, I want Sonic the Hedgehog, but I want him to be mine. I want to copy copy Sonic the Hedgehog into Hyper Metal Sonic so that he will be my slave and do all of my evil bidding for me. But at certain points along the way, Sonic gets very close to literally dying. Robotnik is like shooting actual guns and missiles at him.
Yeah, like when he's like Robotnik, where he's like, I'm gonna, like I said, shoot you with guns and missiles and trap you and drown you in the river.
I will kill you.
Would that not, I don't know, throw off his entire plan?
No, because I think he doesn't care about Metal Sonic. He just wants to kill Sonic. Just nothing works.
So Metal Sonic is the means to the end. Like at any point along the path, if Sonic had died, it would have been kind of like, well, I guess my Metal Sonic plan is bunk now, but at least I killed Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
That's taken care of.
Then without Metal Sonic, how's he gonna, spoiler alert, try and blow up the planet later?
Well, so I don't understand why he even needs Metal Sonic to blow up the planet.
Yeah.
I also don't understand why he's blowing up the planet if he killed
He
Sonic.
has to get rid of Sonic so he can blow up the planet.
Well, no,
he
here's-
needs Metal Sonic to get rid of Sonic so he can blow up the planet.
Yes.
Well, this is where Knuckles becomes the narrative vehicle for exposition. So, like, here's what happens. Like, Metal Sonic is revealed, and he's been scanned. He is Sonic, and they get into a big old fight, and Metal Sonic is better than Sonic, and he traps him in this little bubble, like you said, Christian.
Wow.
And they go flying off into the sky.
And Sonic is like out. Sonic is like unconscious.
So they could have just killed Sonic in that exact moment, and all of Robotnik's plans would have come to fruition just fine.
Should've.
Except for there's maybe like a missing piece. So here's Tails is all like, we need to go save Sonic, but Knuckles is all like, no way, Jose. We're not going to do that because Metal Sonic is too powerful. We're going to go through a zone warp into a different place, and we're going to tell the president everything that happened. Oh no, wait, they go back to the house.
Yeah,
They go back to the house, and he pulls out his little watch, and he says, I'm gonna hack into Metal Sonic.
Right.
Yeah, they go back to the house, the dilapidated airplane that they are living in.
And then Old Man is dressed up super cool.
Yeah, there's this scene beforehand. Old Man is sitting there in Sonic's beach chair, all like, oh, Sonic, you're back early. I wasn't expecting you. Wait, Sonic? What? Oh!
Why are you metal with red eyes?
And then you're like, okay, I guess Metal Sonic killed Old Man. And then they get back and they're like, oh no, he just forced Old Man to wear Sonic's favorite
He
clothes.
actually just pranked him real good.
Yeah, why? Can anybody explain to me why Metal Sonic needed to make Old Man wear Sonic's favorite clothes?
I got you there. I got you.
Yes.
He thought it would be funny.
Oh boy.
He thought it would be a funny joke.
Maybe. I mean, Metal Sonic he has all of Sonic's experiences and knowledge, and he knows that Sonic is just a little stinker at heart. He knows that Sonic just wants to, pull a fast one every now and then,
Yeah.
except for the fact that he has none of Sonic's personality.
That's Metal. No, he does. That's Metal Sonic wanting to be a stinker, wanting to pull a fast one on real Sonic.
But like, okay, so Metal Sonic is going around and destroying the world and stuff.
Casual.
Yeah, he's not destroying the world, because apparently he's missing a crucial piece of information about how to destroy the world.
She's just messing with it.
But Robotnik knows that information.
This is what I don't
him?
understand. I think so. Let me try and get this in. So the president is seeing all these reports coming in of like, Sonic the Hedgehog is destroying the world. He's evil. And so he calls up Sonic and he's like, Sonic, what are you doing? But Sonic isn't there. It's Knuckles. And Knuckles comes out and makes a very, very bold claim and says, hello, I am Sonic the Hedgehog's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Knuckles the Echidna.
That's my best friend.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, wow, okay, Tails is just there, I guess.
All right.
He's like his little brother.
Yeah.
Or his unpaid intern.
Yeah, his unpaid intern.
And so Knuckles is like, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog's best friend. Here's what's going to happen. Here's how you destroy this planet. I know how you destroy this planet, but apparently Metal Sonic doesn't know how to. Here's how you destroy this planet. Here's how you do it. All of the continents that are floating in the sky aren't actually floating in the sky. They're connected by a giant glacier.
Nice.
And underneath the glacier is a bunch of magma. And apparently all of this is still happening above Shadowland, the land of Shadow, underneath. There's just like layer after layer of magma, and then glacier, and then floating islands. And Knuckles is all like, if someone were to go to the North Pole and break through the glacier into the magma, then it would make everything explode, and the rotational force of the planet would shoot all of the continents of the land of Sky out into space, where they would all explode.
Yeah, he does say explode.
Yeah.
I remember that, because I was like,
Yes.
Where's the explosive power coming from?
Yes. And so he's all like, that is how you destroy the planet.
But he knows that because he has explored the land of darkness better than anyone else with his explorer's hat.
That's right.
I remember him saying something along those lines.
And so, but here's the thing. It seems like Robotnik knows that already.
Yeah, because he's like, Metal Sonic has finally discovered the secret of the North Pole. And it's like, why didn't you just program that into him immediately?
Yeah.
If he's a robot.
And why did you need to make a robot that is the duplicate of Sonic the Hedgehog when you could have just like made a big old drill to drill into the North Pole and explode the planet?
world.
The workings of a genius are hard to truly grasp.
Because it's not as fun.
Yeah.
He's doing it for the goof.
Yeah. Everyone's just goofing in different ways.
Now, the thing that I guess would kind of make sense to me about that is like if the Land of Sky is a shell that is surrounding the Land of Darkness, then when it gets like peeled off into space and exploded, then the Land of Darkness will be exposed to the sun and will presumably have some sense of normalcy regained or something like that.
That's kind of how I understood it.
I thought he just wanted them all to suffer like him.
Yeah.
Why is he suffering?
Because he's shaped like an egg and he has really, really backed up bowels.
And so he decides, I am not going to invent laxatives. I am going to invent a robot into which I'm going to implant my nemesis to destroy the world.
To destroy.
I feel like I'm going to explode, so you guys are all going to explode.
But now here's where the twist comes in, because...
Yes, the singular twist of this movie.
Yeah, because the president is sitting there like, okay, now I understand everything. And Tails is like, but you can't tell Sonic. And Sonic is behind the president. He's like, don't worry, I already heard everything. And Tails is like, no, because at that exact moment, Metal Sonic, who is mentally linked to Sonic the Hedgehog, is like everything that Sonic learns is beamed into Metal Sonic's brain automatically. So now Metal Sonic is like, I know how to destroy the world. Let's go to the North Pole and destroy the world.
I didn't get that part.
Yeah, man.
I was like, why can't Sonic know?
Yeah, they've got this brain link.
That makes sense now.
And so then Metal Sonic starts going towards the North Pole and Sonic is like, I have to go and stop him. And then we have this nice little cutaway scene where Robotnik is all like, oh, Sarah, I got you this dress. And she's like, I love it, but why did you get me a wedding dress?
Because the mysterious wedding is our wedding.
Yeah, Robotnik is like, well, I'm going to marry you. That's why I got you a wedding dress. And then it cuts to this little imaginary tableau of their future together in which I freeze framed and counted. There are 15 baby Robotniks, these little tiny balls of like not quite human, not quite cat girl thing that are like climbing all over Robotnik. I'm pretty sure that one of them is actively being breastfed in that little tableau.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then she's like, no, I'm not going to marry you. You're an evil, nasty egg who's trying to destroy everything. And she beats him up while they're flying. But then they just keep flying.
It's chill.
It's chill. It's okay, I guess. But then we cut back to exactly the same scene that we had earlier, except with Knuckles now, where Tails is flying the plane. Knuckles is standing on the top wing of the plane, and he's like, hey, Tails, are you sure that navigator thing isn't a Chekhov's gun?
Yep.
And Tails is all like, well, it's going to take us to Metal Sonic.
Yep.
And also, I can use it to program Sonic's personality into Metal Sonic to make him have empathy and compassion, I think is the plan.
I guess. Which is like, where are you finding that in original Sonic, boy?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That is a good point. That's a very good point.
That's why he had to manually put it in.
It was a manual input.
But like they eventually all make it to the North Pole where Sonic the Hedgehog and Metal Sonic are having a big old battle. And Metal Sonic does manage to like puncture into the magma layer and the world is starting to blow up. So Knuckles is all like, I need to reroute all of this magma somewhere.
And so he does.
He dig real good with his fists, which also let him fly. They let him dig real fast too.
Yes.
So he has a flying speed, a burrowing speed, and a walk. Like, what is this thing?
He good at punching.
It's an echidna.
He's an echidna.
He punch good.
But the unfortunate thing that happens while he is rerouting all of the magma is his hat catches on fire and he loses his hat.
Rip.
Yes, so sad.
Oh, and also Sonic jumps on his head.
That's true.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
This is important.
That'll come back.
This is very important. At one point, Sonic jumps on Knuckles' head. Remember this.
Take note.
Because it's going to be important later.
Knuckles will remember that.
And he gives him a big thumbs down.
Knuckles will remember that.
And so this big old fight is going on, and Tails is all like, I need to program Sonic's personality into Metal Sonic. And at one point, it looks like it works, because Metal Sonic like stops, and then Sonic does a supersonic spin attack, knocks him down. Tails is like continuing to try and program more of Sonic's personality into Metal Sonic, at which point Robotnik comes in and shoots the navigator off of his wrist.
Yeah.
And then it's broken.
Yeah, so I guess the entire time it literally was just a helpful thing, because eventually Robotnik had to come in and be all like, hey, I shouldn't have given you that, actually, because it's helping you out too much. I need to destroy
He
it.
should have had a failsafe for it, too. That wasn't just shoot a gun at it.
It was the anti-Chekhov's gun. It needed a second gun.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But yeah, at this point, the president shows up in a rocket for the
Right.
sole purpose of creating a narrative hurdle.
Right, because he accidentally crashes his rocket.
Isn't the old man there, too? I feel like this is another scene where the old owl man just crashes a flying vehicle.
Yeah, President and the old man are in this ship, hit this rocket, because Sarah's like, that's Daddy's rocket.
It's my papa.
And it crashes into some of the ice.
Which they do say, if that ice bridge breaks, that's how the world is destroyed, and that's what he crashes into.
Yeah.
Crashes right into
Yeah, so then the doors are like pinned shut by this ice that the rocket is stuck inside of. And so now Sonic has to save the president because there's not already enough crazy stuff going on. Now Sonic has to save the
Oh,
president.
and the rocket catches on fire from the nearby magma.
Yes, and then the rocket will also explode and the president and old man will die in this explosion.
Oh my goodness.
And then, right at like the last moment when everything is about to blow up and everything's about to be terrible, Metal Sonic saves the president.
Oh wait, doesn't he save him by being like thrown into the window?
Yeah, like Sonic hits him and then he goes and he's like, oh no, and then
Oh no.
Metal Sonic jumps out with the president and old man and is like, JK, I saved them, I didn't blow them up.
But actually, I love the president.
Yeah, and he like deposits them, and then he like falls into a pit where all the magma is.
Yes.
And then I will say, better than Star Wars.
Yeah. I cried.
They did it better than Star Wars.
Yeah,
Because
That moment was like a pivotal point of my memories in childhood when
know,
he's
you're like-
screaming metal.
It's the Luke Skywalker, no, it's the Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker Obi-Wan Kenobi moment in the
it's the Mustafar scene.
yeah, it's the Mustafar scene.
I trusted you. You were my brother.
Man, the prequels suddenly make a lot more sense now because this movie came out a long time before Episode 3 came out.
Yeah.
What we don't understand is the prequels of Star Wars was a reference to this movie.
Yes. So, like, Sonic sees Metal fall into, which is another thing I don't think we mentioned. They don't refer to him as Metal Sonic, they just refer to him as
Metal.
Metal,
That's my boy Metal.
which is pretty metal if you ask me.
I think that, again, that's a translation thing where their lips don't move enough to say Metal Sonic, and so they just had to shorten it to Metal.
Could be.
You guys can start calling me Flesh, by the way.
I will not do that. But so yeah, Sonic sees Metal fall in, but he's like, wait a second, Metal just saved the president. He must be good now. So he like jumps down and he sees Metal like with one hand clawing his way, like
Yes. Like, whang.
his entire lower half already melted into the magma, just like clawing himself up the side of this pit, and Sonic reaching down to try and save him, and Knuckles being all like, don't do it, he's gonna turn on you. And Sonic is like trying with everything he can to reach down and save Metal Sonic, but at the last moment, Metal Sonic swipes Sonic's hand away and turns up and says to him with an actual voice,
First time he's spoken.
For the first time.
Yeah.
He was speaking in beeps and boops earlier.
yes, first and only English line that Metal Sonic says, he says, there is only one Sonic. And then the magma consumes him.
That it does.
And Metal Sonic is dead, introduced and destroyed in the same bit of media here.
And thanks to Sonic's incredible ego, he suffers no PTSD from this.
Yeah.
As soon as Metal Sonic is gone, he's like, well, this is no longer part of my awesome life. Moving on.
He's like, you know what? Yeah,
You're right.
he's right. there is only one Sonic, and it's me.
But, oh wait, there's another Chekhov's gun that we forgot to set up. What was the tortoise and the hair bombs?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, at one point
He shoots a really fast like eagle bomb.
it was a hare and a tortoise.
Yeah.
I think the hair bomb is what blew up the bracelet.
No,
I'm trying to remember.
the tortoise hit the president's ship as it was coming into orbit, right?
The hare did.
Well, so here's the thing that I remember happens for sure. Robotnik is like, okay, I need to cause some mischief. So the front of his ship flips down, and inside there is a tortoise bomb and there's a hair bomb. And he fires both of them, and the hair bomb goes very, very fast and does something. The tortoise bomb is just walking slowly through the air, and Robotnik looks down at it and goes, uh-oh, a failed experiment.
Or the hair bomb was going to Tails' airship. That's what it was.
Okay, so the tortoise bomb is what makes the president's ship crash, or the hair bomb is.
The hair bomb is what does that, because the hair bomb goes fast.
And then the tortoise bomb at the end comes back.
Yes,
Oh my
this is the
gosh.
other Chekhov. The other thing we were supposed to remember, because like after Metal Sonic is dead, they're all standing there and being like, hey, we saved the day. But then Robotnik is like, well,
You're right, idiots.
too bad, because I still have all of Sonic on this CD-ROM right here in my hand.
This little GameCube disc.
And then the tortoise bomb shows back up, moving ever so slowly, and it bites the CD and explodes Robotnik.
What?
And everybody's like, ha ha ha, silly Robotnik.
And then my favorite part of the movie, they're all sitting there laughing, and Knuckles walks up and punches Sonic in the face.
And he's like, that's for jumping on my head.
That's why you remember.
See, we told you.
Doesn't Sonic literally say, I don't even remember doing that?
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
And then Knuckles is like, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
And so then they start running after each other, and they're rushing off into the sunset. And then Sarah and the president all pile into Robotnik's rocket, and they're like, Robotnik, don't worry about trying to kill Sonic right now. We just need to catch up to him. And so it's this lovely tableau where Sonic is running out in the front, everybody's chasing after him, and then he goes so fast that he morphs into the outro transition that leads into the credits or something like that.
Wow.
And that is the film. That is the film Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
That is the film.
And you know what? I probably won't watch it again.
You know,
I don't blame you.
unfortunately, I don't think I will either for a while, but I also I had a great time rewatching it. Just 90s cartoons out the wazoo. Like, so good.
Without the sweet, sweet taste of nostalgia, it is a bitter pill.
That probably is a big part for me.
Especially when you are sick,
Ah, yes.
I would imagine.
I was sitting there like, I'm trying to get my way through a reread of the Stormlight archive, so I'm already slogging it kind of.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm like, I guess this is a nice break, but I don't know, I gotta get back to it.
Now, for me, I'm all like, okay, I have to watch this film, and I'm tired of talking about Black Friday sales for my clients. So I'm just going to spend a nice little bit of time watching this instead. It's debatable whether it was a better time than working, but
It was a time.
it was a time.
I was reading No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy when I got a text from Ned that was reminding me, hey, we're talking about this tonight. I was like, oh! So I had a very stark tonal shift in the middle of my day.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, or I went from that to Sonic the Hedgehog, and
Sonic.
it was a nice change of pace.
I mean, when you look at, there are certain parallels, I think, between Anton Chigurh and Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a certain degree of an inability to empathize and to deal with the consequences of one's actions.
Agreed.
No.
They're both violent sociopaths.
This is the hard-hitting literary analysis you tune in for.
Yeah, that's what people wanted.
To quote the book, they were both prophets of destruction.
Yes. Now, what do we feel we have learned about the character and being of Sonic the Hedgehog from this experience?
Like I said at the beginning, I owe those authors an apology. They were so much more on the nose than I thought.
I mean, they were just doing their thing.
I was like, when I was a kid, I think I played one Sonic game on the Game Boy Advance.
Sure.
And that's all of my Sonic exposure. So reading these books, I was like, this can't be what the lore is really like. This can't be what the storytelling is really like in Sonic.
Well,
Boy, I was mistaken.
If I'm being honest, I don't know how Sonic managed to become like the cultural institution that he is today.
Right.
Valid. Very valid take.
I think like his whole thing is that he's a spectacle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The blue blur.
Like that's just the whole point of Sonic is like he's a spectacle and people are like, what is this? And so they just keep wanting a little bit more because it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Doesn't he have like a Dragon Ball Z power creep thing?
He
like,
does, yes. When he gets all of the Chaos Emeralds and initiates Chaos Control, he becomes like Super Sonic, where he literally has like the Goku blonde hair, spiky, like it.
Supersonic, like Super Saiyan?
Yeah. I mean, he basically goes Super Saiyan.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 Chaos Emeralds, 7 Dragon Balls.
Oh, also the President's Daughter was giving me big Journey of the West vibes.
Yep.
So I don't know. I was getting big like Son Goku vibes there. So yeah, man.
By the way, I think that the reason that all of the humans have weird ears and tails and things is because like whatever the thing was that like made the land post-apocalyptical, I'm pretty sure it like mutated them all.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
They don't go over what happened, but like it's post-apocalyptic. It's canonically that's what it is.
So this movie is canon?
No.
No, in the movie's universe itself.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like, yeah, it's its own interpretation of Sonic, just kind of like the new movies of Sonic.
Yeah.
How it's like its own interpretation.
Its own self-contained thing.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey?
Yes.
You see, the thing is, Sonic contains multitudes.
Ah.
Who are we to try and define or contain Sonic the Hedgehog?
Trying to know the unknowable.
Yes.
Trying to catch that which cannot be caught.
Well, I have one note that I skipped that I just want to make sure I bring up.
Please.
Is the part where Metal Sonic initially defeats Sonic the Hedgehog and Robotnik says, "Sonic will never again be a pain in my egg."
Oh my,
Boy.
yes, yeah, I remember that.
Boy, the way he delivered that line, I was like, is he gonna say it?
Oh.
Yeah, they really told him to run with it in the studio.
Robotnik did a great job. That voice actor
Oh, so good.
killed it.
I will say, there were multiple times I was like, is there a German accent in there? Or is it just silly? Or
He's doing the goofy evil thing, like Skeletor back in the day, where it sounds like vaguely European.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Vaguely bad guy European.
But yeah.
Well, is there any other hard-hitting cultural information that we would like to leave our listeners with before we wrap this one up here?
You should watch it.
Should watch it.
I don't know if
it's pretty. I mean,
I don't know if I agree with that. But
the vibes are immaculate. The soundtrack is a bop.
I will say, the synth in the soundtrack was pretty all right.
Moving and grooving, dude. It reminded me of like Nausicaa.
Yeah.
And the animation was great.
Yeah, pretty crisp.
that's fair.
Pretty darn good.
It was a very visually pleasing movie. There just was a lot else about it that wasn't amazing.
Yep.
If you are going to watch this, listeners, we might recommend, if you've listened to our Star Shrek campaign, you probably heard us talk about Shrek Retold.
Yes.
The same group that made Shrek Retold made Sonic Rebuilt, in which they got together with over 200 different creators on the internet and shot by shot recreated the film Sonic the Hedgehog the movie.
We may have to watch that at some point.
We may have to. We may have to.
So maybe go check that one out. But yeah, it seems like we're wrapping this up. I'll do a quick round of plugs actually while we're here. So I recently made the acquaintance of another podcaster who for a couple years was running a surprisingly successful Sonic the Hedgehog fan cast.
Whoa.
So yes, my friend Nina Splendor had a podcast called Your Two Show, which she hosted with her friend Caleb Zane Hewitt, and I think it's a lot of fun. They start out because Caleb is a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Nina has like no experience whatsoever with Sonic, and so it's slowly like ingesting various bits of Sonic the Hedgehog media to try and understand it. And here's the thing is, Nina and Caleb are really good like critics of the media and are able to find meaning in it that I don't think I ever would be able to and make you actually like appreciate some of the messages being shared in these various bits of Sonic cartoons and whatnot. So yeah, go check that out, Your Two Show. It's a lot of fun. They also have a podcast called Every Day's Great, which is a Persona fan cast.
I'm there.
Yeah, so Caleb also is a big Persona fan and is leading Nina through, for the first time, a playthrough of Persona 4.
Nice. I love that one.
They're lots of fun. I would definitely recommend checking them out. And so that's my plug. Anybody else want to plug something Sonic related?
Chili dogs.
Try you a chili dog, because them tasty and you run real fast after you eat them.
So true.
Straight to the bathroom.
I was gonna say, in multiple ways.
You will have places to be not too long after that chili dog.
That's what Eggman needed all along.
Just needed a chili
Needed
dog.
chili dogs.
This is why Sonic the Hedgehog and Dr. Ivo Robotnik are perfect foils to each other.
True.
Because one has all the chili dog and the other has none the chili dog but needs the chili dog.
Ain't that just the way?
None the chili dog.
Yes.
That's going to be the name of my band. None the chili dog.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Good band name.
Okay, wait. I have to do a Sonic plug.
Yes.
This is my favorite thing in Sonic. It too is a disaster of lore mishaps and like weirdly good animation for what it is. It's a game. It's called Sonic Shuffle. It's on the Sega Dreamcast exclusively.
Okay.
And it is my favorite Sonic game, and I've played almost all of them, guys.
Oh my gosh.
It's Mario Party, but it's Sonic.
Yeah.
It is 90% awful, but the 10% that's good is so good.
I have played this twice now when I've visited you and Thomas.
Lucky.
You guys, I have rebought a Sega Dreamcast 4 times in my adult life because this game gets me. I have to have it.
Amazing.
Like, we could do a pretty in-depth mechanical breakdown of the differences between Sonic Shuffle and Mario Party, because there are a surprising number of them.
Not to bring up, there's the Mario Kart counterpart at the time, which was Sonic R, which was famously bad.
I love Sonic R. Did you say it's famously bad?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. But the music slaps,
pretty good.
guys.
Pretty good.
If you listen to the soundtrack.
It's pretty good.
Living in the city. It's so good.
Yeah, I think 8-Bit Big Band did a really awesome cover of one of the songs from Sonic R, I want to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Christian is so done with this plug section.
We need to do a Pokemon one at some point.
I just want to say, I'm putting this out to the universe. The Chow Garden needs to come back like yesterday. We,
Yes.
as a society, have been ready for this.
Oh, the Chow Garden.
All right, that's my last thing, I promise.
The confusion on Christian's face.
Don't worry about it.
You don't know what a Chow is?
Is that, yeah, chow is food. Chili dogs.
No.
Chow. Chili dog is chow.
It's spelled like chaos, but Chow.
Yeah.
It's a baby.
Baby idiot.
Wait, what?
Is a baby that you give animals and it turns into the animals and it fights and it races.
And you can gamble on them.
It's Pokemon?
No. It's more like horse races with little guys.
I'm so confused.
I'll show you later.
Anyway, out of mercy for my dear friend Christian Randall, thanks everybody for joining us for this review of Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. I have been Ned Wilcock, and today I've been joined by...
Christian Randall, hopelessly confused.
Connor Wood, egg chow breeder.
And Sammy Ryan, living in the city, you know you have to survive.
Oh my gosh.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop. Rolling around at the speed of sound.
Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow.